you see that inequality is more or less there in all parts of the world. There is inequality, and one of the most common inequality is gender inequality. Okay, males or most of the societies in the world are male dominated or patriarchal, and that is what feminism is trying to oppose, right? वो equality की बात करती है और females are equal to males. How come this idea came up? Patriarchy became universal. कुछ तो reason होगा. So there is one single hypothesis that when we used to live as hunter-gatherers in the jungles, at that point of time, men used to hunt, whereas female, they usually used to gather. This is a simple hypothesis. One of the reasons why men used to hunt was because of the physical capacity of the men. Men have a greater body size, greater lung size, and that's why they have a greater energy to spend compared to female, whose body size is relatively smaller and smaller compared to male. And then the lung size. Lung size means amount of air that can be stored in the lungs in a single cycle of respiration. Okay. Now, the more the amount of air, the more energy can be created or exerted by a particular individual. Now, since the lung size of the men are greater, so they have a greater energy at disposal. And that's why men used to take up those tasks which required burst of energy. Hunting requires that kind of energy. Another theory is that expendability theory. It is said that men are more expendables. Expendables means आदमियों को खर्च करना आसान है compared to females. That means if men die, there will be less loss to the group as compared to the death of female. Why? Imagine there is a group of 5 men and 5 women in a group. Now 5 men went for hunting, but there was an accident. There was a carnivorous animal, a tiger. It killed 4, only 1 could come back. Okay, and the other case, 5 women went for hunting, only 1 could come back. Okay, किस केस में ज्यादा लॉस हुआ ग्रुप का? The answer is in case of women loss. Why? Because even if 1 man comes, the single man can impregnate all the women. Okay, and since all the women can be impregnated, they can give birth to babies, the group will continue. But imagine if a single woman comes back. In that case, the reproductive capacity of the female is limited. One woman cannot compensate for the loss of other women. She will be able to give a limited number of births. And that will be an existential crisis for the group itself. The woman death will be a greater loss. And that's why it is said that men were more expendables as compared to women. And due to which men used to take up all those tasks that used to involve risk of life and death. But life and death ki baat hai, somebody is actually risking their life, they would require some form of compensation, isn't it? And in the ancient times when we used to live as hunter-gatherers in the jungle, there is nothing called Padma Shri or Veer Chakra or any kind of cash payment or monetary benefits that can be given to the people. Only benefit that can be given is prestige, a greater prestige, a greater authority. And that is how this hierarchy started to originate. The ones who were risking their life and death, they had a greater prestige as compared to the ones who were saving their life or who were not engaged in any kind of activity that would involve the risk of life and death. And that's how inequality started to come up. Later on, there were other ways because of which inequality started to come up, like economy being controlled by men. Reason being, warfare was very common. People used to fight. As the population started to increase, people used to fight with each other. Again, male mortality is less harmful as compared to female mortality. And that's why male will be the warriors. Male will be participating more in the warfare as compared to the females. Hence, male will be the one who will be taking the most important decision related to warfare. Politics mein wo dominate karne lage because warfare was the important part of the politics. Because the one who is fighting will take the decision. The one who is not fighting does not have the knowledge. Okay. Plus, since male mortality is always or say less harmful, so male used to go away or far away from the places where they used to live to say pick up wood to hunt the animal, because women have to stay at the home in order to nurse the children. अब आप सोचो कि you have to choose, you have two candidates, you have to choose two leader out of those two candidates. Whom will you choose? The one who has a greater knowledge about the area, or the one who has less knowledge about the area? Greater. So the one who used to travel more, explore more away from the house will have a greater knowledge about the territory. उसको पता है वो रोज 1 किलोमीटर 2 किलोमीटर देख के आ रहा है, उसको पता है कि कहाँ पे कौन सा पेड़ है, where is water, where is. So this knowledge made male gain supremacy or higher position in the hierarchy as compared to the female, and that's how these general ideas started to develop. Now in the 21st century, when these kind of differences does not exist, because warfare अभी जैसे इंडिया पाकिस्तान चल रहा था, it was not man to man warfare, it was more or less technological display. They were actually sending drones and we were having some anti drone system or anti missile system and we were trying to defend it. यहाँ पे man to man की बात नहीं है, it was all technological driven. So in such cases you find that female are equally capable, energy की बात नहीं, right? And that's why these ideas are being challenged by feminism, that such ideas might be relevant even in the past, but right now they hold no significance. Okay,